Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the Media Bite channel. Today we are going to be talking about a movie that most of you have probably seen, maybe not, at least heard of the original, and not the original. This is a remake of the original film. You may have seen some kind of advertising or poster for it in the last few weeks, and that movie is Freakier Friday. So, to explain that for a second, Freakier Friday is the sequel to a remake of another film called Freaky Friday. So there's Freaky Friday and then Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, and then this is the sequel to that movie. So before we get into that, I really want to talk to you really quick about a kind of a series idea that I have. The name is going to change because this is not really even a name, but it's kind of more of like the general idea for the series. It's MCU, one film at a time, where we go through every film, maybe TV show, and talk about it in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that interests you. What I think of that specific film, if I liked it, what I didn't like about it, its place, and the story of the overall MCU, and all that stuff. So if that interests you, be on the lookout for that. And so without much further ado, let's just talk about another Disney property, Freakier Friday. If you were like me, you were like interested in this movie, but you were very genuinely concerned, and I will tell you right now, this movie could have been 10,000 times worse than it was, because I enjoyed it greatly, and there were plenty of moments that made me laugh, which was the whole intention of the movie. It was definitely, surprisingly, for like a 12-13-year-old and up crowd. Not to say that there was anything in this movie that a kid couldn't watch, but the jokes and everything else that happened were definitely playing into like a Gen Z, Millennial, Gen X kind of crowd. Less like 11-12-year-olds might not enjoy this movie as much, but 13s and ups probably would enjoy this movie, not because there's like they can't watch anything in it, like there's something that they can't watch or whatever, but some of the jokes just won't land if you don't understand them. They're definitely playing to the situations that like teenagers and adults would find funny about like the situations that these characters find themselves in. So if you have no context or for any of what this movie is about, let me just tell you right now. So we're talking about the original Freaky Friday movie, not the original, the remake of the original. So you have Anna and Tess. Tess is Anna's mother. Tess is played by Jamie Lee Curtis. Anna is Lindsay Lohan. And then in this movie, Anna had a child named Harper. Harper's father is not in the picture. It's not said if he died, if they got divorced or whatever, but they're not in the picture. So then Harper goes to school and there is a girl named Lily. I'm assuming they're supposed to be like 15, 16, 17 in this movie. They don't think it says specifically what grade they're in, but they're in high school, I believe. Lily and Harper cannot stand each other at all, and so they accidentally make a mistake in the science laboratory, like the science lab thing, because they're mad at each other, and then their parents are called in. This is where Anna and Eric meet. Eric is the father of Lily, and Lily's mother, Eric's wife, died. So just to cut this short, Anna and Eric meet. Lily and Harper absolutely despise this, and they hate it. And Eric and Anna are to get married. So they're at Anna's bachelorette party, and they all Freaky Friday with each other because Jamie Lee Curtis, Tess, and Anna are also fighting about how to parent Harper. So let's explain this. So Lily is in Tess's body, and Harper is in Anna's body, and vice versa. So Anna is in Harper's body, and Jamie Lee Curtis's character Tess is in Lily's body. I just need to mention a few things because honestly it's quite freaky. The pun was not intended when I wrote that, but then I kept it in because the pun was intended after that, so I don't know if it's intended or not intended, but either way I thought that was funny. But for real though, it is honestly freaky how well Jamie Lee Curtis can act like someone else is like in her body, not like playing a character, but like she's a character in her own body. It's very weird, especially when you look at it like she's acting like somebody that somebody else has already set a precedent for how that character acts, and she can act like that so well. I noticed that with the first Freaky Friday, and I noticed that very much with this one. It's genuinely crazy how well that she acts in this movie and in the original Freakier Friday. The movie was designed perfectly for Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Z. Very, very clearly. It was very clearly designed for those, because I thought somehow different jokes were perfect for these 3 different age groups. I thought it was incredibly well done, and I think everyone did a great job of playing like these switched body roles. It wasn't just Jamie Lee Curtis that did a great job, but it's crazy to me that she didn't win an Oscar way before. Not for these movies, but way before she did in Everything Everywhere All at Once. So I also thought that the overall plot and like the emotional attachments that a movie has like this worked very well. And so if you're tired of superhero movies and aren't looking to see something like weapons and want to bring your family to see a movie, this is absolutely the movie for you. By the way, there was literally like every generation of a single family in the theater behind us. There was grandparents all the way up to like an 8-year-old, and they all were laughing at every different joke, which is why I mentioned that so clearly, because you could hear a laugh from over here, and then like you'd hear a laugh like go down the line as different jokes were hitting for different and the Patreon is getting more commentaries here soon. The podcast network is still rolling, which you can find. It's Mediabite Podcast Network / Exploring Cinema, Diary of an Indie Filmmaker. It's on all your favorite podcast apps. If it's not, that's my problem, not yours. Let me know. And thank you. So with that, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.